flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day that you've given us, this beautiful day that's been ours to enjoy. We thank you for all the blessings that we have been given today, and we just thank you for everyone that's here tonight. They're concerned for our town. We love our town, and we want what's best for our town. We just ask you now as we go into this meeting that you lead us, guide us, and direct us in everything that we say and do. In your name we pray.
Amen.
Thank you for coming out tonight. Roll call, Ms. Rachel.
Oh, let's see here. Moore.
Here.
Henson.
Here.
Crane.
Here.
Sharp.
Here.
Richardson.
Here.
Crichton.
Here.
Have y'all had a chance to read the minutes from last meeting and also maybe after? If there's no corrections or objections, I hear a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Brenda, second by Dennis. Roll call.
Brenda on Dennis.
Moore. Crane.
Yes.
Sharp.
Yes.
Richardson.
Yes.
Henson.
Yes.
Crichton.
Yes.
Everybody had a chance to look over the financial reports. Are there any questions on it or about it? If not, do I hear a motion to approve? Motion by Dennis.
Second.
Second by Ms. Nancy. Roll call, Ms. Rachel.
Okay. Moore.
Yes.
Crane.
Yes.
Sharp.
Yes.
Richardson.
Yes.
Henson.
Yes.
Crichton.
Yes.
Okay, new business. We have no old business, so we took care of all that. First item on new business is cameras on Highway 78 and the park. There is a bid in there from Bruce Hayes of nearly $8,000 for these cameras.
Is that not what you were talking about, Frankie? Oh, that he's gonna try to go through 911?
Is that what you're talking about?
That's all, that was the whole idea, not us, 911, try to go through 911, get approval through it. They set me over $1 million up there. And the ones on the board, am I right?
You on the board?
I don't know, I'm not on that board, I don't have
I was
any
thinking
idea.
You on the board?
I'm not.
I do not think we can buy them together.
You do not think we can?
Unless the way he's got it written up, and I talked to him about that, I told him, I said, you know, you've got it set up going in down here, and then the monitoring has to be done through the dispatcher's office, 911 to go.
It won't hurt to try.
I mean, it's worth trying. I mean, you know, the benefit of it, we've got one officer. And you got something going on that highway up there, they don't know what it is. And with this right here, even though it routes through the dispatcher's office, they can pick it up with the system, they, you know, the new phone they're gonna have, they can be able to view that on the phone. If they're sitting down here on Main Street. Same token, if there's any vandalism or whatnot going out there on Mile Lane, we will be able to see the same thing.
Well, why don't you get with Jackson and see if it is feasible?
Well, let's table this till next month, and I'll talk, who's the chairman of it?
Jackson.
Jackson, we'll talk to him and see what he says about it, and see if they can. Is that okay? I hear a motion to table it till next month.
So moved.
Motion by Frankie, I hear a second.
I'll second.
Second by Nancy, roll call.
Moore.
Yes.
Crane.
Yes.
Sharp.
Yes.
Richardson.
Yes.
Henson.
Yes.
Crichton.
Yes.
Okay, next line item is, resolution for a CDBG grant for, 2022. Y'all have a copy of it. It's authorizing matching funds for the small city block grant program, CDBG, for fiscal year 2022, whereas the governing body of Ridgely, Tennessee, having committed itself to the improvement of the community that it represents, wishes to make an application for sewer system improvements. whereas having determined proper eligibility for CDBG grant program guidelines, the governing body wishes to make application up for $600,000 in grant funds and for additional $30,000, 5% allotted for 3-star communities. The city of Ridgely understands that it is accountable for providing the match rate not less than 6%. This match rate was determined by ECD and includes a 4-point reduction 3-star communities. Said governing body will commit local funds for the match and any additional funding required to complete the project beyond the awarded grant amount will be provided by the city of Ridgely. Now therefore it be resolved by the governing body of Ridgely, Tennessee, meeting in session on the 10th day of March 2022, that mayor of the city of Ridgely is authorizing to commit local matching funds to proposed project and to sign all necessary assurance agreements and contracts required for recipients of the CDBG funds. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Frankie, second.
Second.
Second by Nancy. Roll call, Ms. Rachel.
Was it Nancy? Okay. All right. Moore,
Yes.
Crane,
Yes.
Sharp,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Crittenden.
Yes.
Now, before I move on, talking about TDEC money, we had a meeting today with TLM. Engineers, because our plan is already drawn out, and the city's plan is drawn out, and the county's plan. We're one of 3 counties across the state that already has a plan drawn out, so I think that's pretty good. We're supposed to get $845,000 through TDEC, and then an additional $450,000 through the money that goes into the county. It'll all come to us, but the county mayor has to approve that $450,000 to give us, which will be no problem, because it's allowed for us. But they got email on it that the government may rescind some of this, a portion of this money. But we don't know why, probably because of the wars going on over Russia and Ukraine. But anyway, the way it's looking, if things go on, we have to have this filed for March, and we will have it filed. And we got our plans, all had to be done by the end of March. So maybe by us being one of the first 3, that we'll go ahead and get all this money. Hopefully, we will, and it's for sewer and water. And we cannot use any of the CDBG grant to pay the matching funds, which is,
$200,000.
is that right, Richard, 36? No.
$200,000.
You mean on this, on this 600 and 6%?
Yeah, we're talking about that on
For
that
this,
part.
it is,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but I'm talking about
Oh, the
TDEC.
yeah,
The
okay,
TDEC,
yeah.
which they're trying to get it at a reduced rate. And hopefully we will,
What rate is that?
15%, and they're trying to get it at 10%.
At 10, yeah.
Is what they did. Now, the CDBG grant, what we're gonna do, since we're gonna get the other money, we're gonna try to switch it over and get money from the CDBG grant to pave the streets. So if we do that, you're talking about getting quite a bit of streets paved in Ridgely and for, a little bit of nothing, which is the 36,000 is total. 600,000 will do a whole lot of streets. So, that's cool, I just wanna let you know where we're at on that. Next line item is beer permit. This is for Dollar General on the highway. Jimmy Dale has checked them out, and he finds no deficiencies or no criminal records or anything. By the other store having a beer permit up there, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Frankie, wrong with them having it. Second by Bubba. Roll call, Ms. Rachel.
Moore,
No.
okay, Crane,
Yes.
Sharp,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
and Crittenton.
No.
Motion carried. All right, next line of business is 512 South Main cleanup. Bradley Bishop's here. It's not the house next to him, but it's the house next to the house to the next. Oh, it's the house right next to you?
It's next
It's
door.
burning. And who is it under Rachel C. What are it?
ACM Vision.
ACMG. However, they have not cleaned the property up, and they haven't been in taxes in 2 years, like, paid on it. So what we need to do, we need to hire somebody to clean that up, put a lien against the lot.
Is that where the chimney's sticking
Yeah.
out?
Yeah,
Yes, because I think Bradley, your daughter go over and get hurt on
I
that.
did. I had my 4-year-old ended up having to have stitches in her foot, which, I mean, I know it's my responsibility to keep my kids out of there. But
Well,
if anybody in here has kids, you know how that is when you have kids that
We don't
play.
want no danger.
I mean, I've mowed it, that's not a big deal, I've mowed it for 2 years, just trying to keep weeds down, but inside of where the house is burnt out, it grows up over my head. I deal with snakes all summer, coming through the yards, and I mean, I haven't said anything up to this point about it, cause I know that there's a lot of other things going on. I think the property's actually changed hands now, it's not even ACM Vision anymore now. I
No,
think
it's
it's-
United States of America.
Yeah, and then they've got a sub person taking care of, I spoke with somebody on the phone, actually did get some on the phone today with him.
Oh, good.
But they, some company out of Florida now is managing this property. I was in hopes that they would not pay the taxes, that'd put them 3 years behind, and then it could go to auction to be sold.
Right.
I already had somebody lined up to actually clean the property up if I was ever to get the property, but, it's looking like they're gonna pay a year's taxes on it again this year, so that's gonna stop that from happening.
Well, I think if we go ahead and clean this up and then put a big fine on it, I don't think they'll even pay for it. I think it'll become property originally. But we can't let anything that's dangerous exist. Someone's gonna get hurt on it. It'll probably cost us something to clean it up.
Have their 2020 taxes been paid, Rachel?
No,
They'll go to Chancery in that,
The
next
end of the
month.
month.
yeah.
Next month.
I'd go ahead and get it clean so you can put that on it
Yes.
as it goes.
You still interested in buying?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I still wanna buy
I
the
know it's
property.
worth more to you than it is anybody else down.
Yeah, I mean, I still wanna buy the property, but that's a whole nother
It
deal
needs to be
there.
cleaned up.
I mean, if I was buying it, I wanted to clean it up, redo the dirt out there, bring in dirt, smooth everything out. I was gonna end up fencing in. I was gonna give the driveway that's attached to it to Mr. Kenny and them on the next side. I didn't need the driveway that was attached, but I wanted to, fence in the property and use it part of my backyard.
I don't know who that is. First Chapel or something?
No, you know, it come back from the school south of there, you know, that house that burned.
That's
Woods.
Oh, no.
woods.
You talking about on College Street?
King Street,
That's
Well,
King.
no,
You
that's-
know,
that's-
it's on by it all.
Oh, you're talking
talking
about
about
Rhonda?
Galen Hooks,
Rhonda.
Galen Rhonda.
Can't get the insurance worked out, or you know about that?
I don't know, only Jack was supposed to be checking with.
Well, Pam called Rhonda, and Rhonda told her that she's already got a settlement for the insurance, but she said Tony Marjorie was gonna clean it up. She took him up to the insurance company, so Pam was gonna try to find out what the status is.
Okay, we need
But
to
she did
check
that this week, because it's right, it's really a little bit on the street,
Okay.
at 10.
But anyway, do I hear a motion to put bids out to clean that up on Main Street?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Bubba, second,
I second it.
second by Brenda. Roll call, Ms. Rachel.
Alright. Moore,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Sharp,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Crittenton.
Yes.
Motion carried. Dennis, you have anything?
No.
Now, I thought we were gonna talk about the park tonight, the park grant.
Oh, okay. You know, Mr.
Gerald Parrish.
Gerald come here and talk to us about getting in the plan with the park. The initial plan, to get in the initial plan is about $4,000, am I
So
correct?
that's.
Three-way match.
Uh-huh.
And I think we need to do that to see what the plan is. I think we all discussed doing that, to see what the plan, cause you can back out at any time and see where it's gonna lead to. I think that's what Cliff's here tonight to see what we're gonna do. Is that right, Cliff?
I just, if anybody had any questions, what,
Well,
I'm just here in support of it. I think it's gonna benefit, not only the county, but both cities.
Where's it gonna be built at?
I mean, it's not a, this is not a grant to build anything. It's just a grant it's a master plan where we're hiring a consulting group to come into the county, come to, our Ridgely meetings, the city meeting, the county meeting, talk to all the citizens and get everybody's input on what they would like to see in their town, in the county, as far as park and recreation. And, it's a $60,000 grant to hire this, consulting firm. And we pay, I think it's $12,000,
Yeah. That's a
split between the three,
It's right now it's 15% match.
Right.
but each
And-
time
and-
it's
and,
down
you know,
to
it-
10%.
if any of us want to get any kind of park and recreation grant, from here on out, we have to participate in the plan. Or, from here on out, you'll never get any money from the state for park and recreation.
Right. Unless you participate in the plan.
Now, what he explained also was that this planning commission will come up with 10 items of importance that people want for their community on that. And then after one is done on 1 year, then another one can be added at the bottom. This is like a 10-year or longer plan.
But it's according to what you want, the amount of, you
Right.
can do it all in 1 year is what he said,
Yeah.
if you can come up with the
If you can
match.
come up with a
Right.
match, yeah. But it's not just one time thing. It's gonna be
Yeah,
like
I know,
over
they're not
10
gonna-
But
years.
it's indefinite, it's
Right.
like 10 years and then more, he says
Right.
it's forever, is what he said.
That's what I
So
understood, yeah.
we wanna get into the plan, because, even we don't go with what the plan says, we're still in the plan.
Right,
We can back out the rest of it, in case we ever wanna get anything for the park, and we do want to get things, we wanna get lights, we wanna get more play
Play equipment.
toys and playground equipment, and we want the ball field fixed up, because we have a, junior high ball team now, and they need a place down here to practice.
yeah.
And maybe even play some games there. So $4,000 is nothing to get into it, and, I think we really need to get in it. We discussed about it, after our call meeting, we went into executive session and discussed the thing. And I think we was all, if I'm not mistaken, all in favor of, cause we couldn't vote on anything, but was all in favor of getting in the plan, because we could drop out anytime we wanted. Was that right, Don? Do you remember it that way?
That's what I understood.
You don't remember? Well, I think.
Yeah, you're right, that's what he said.
Yeah, I
You
think.
could get in now, and later on, if you don't wanna do it, you can drop out.
I will tell you one thing that Mr. Parrish told me when he was in Tiptonville was that our park out there was built with a grant. And he says they can come in and check it and inspect it, and if it's not up to par, and we're not in this plan, then we will be responsible for bringing it up to par at full expense. And, if not, then they would do away with our park.
But anyway, I think it's a good thing to get into it. Actually, I could spend the $4,000 without voting on it, but I'd like for everybody to be included on it, because I can spend up to $7,500 without having to vote. But I'd like for everybody to be included on it. And do I hear a motion to approve that? Motion by Dennis,
Second.
second by Nancy. Roll call, Ms. Rachel.
Moore,
No.
Crane,
Yes.
Sharp,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Crittenden.
Yes.
Motion carried. All right. Anybody got anything else?
Steve,
Don't have any.
and you do.
You're invited to a Nova Global Celebration Wednesday, March 23rd, 11 a.m. Boyette's Dining Room. Special guest is Jeff Lash, is that right? President and CEO of Tennessee Valley Authority. Bob Roffey, Commissioner, Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development will be there, local boards and elected officials. Reservations, must be done by March 17th if you're gonna go, okay? To Marshall Mills at bellsouth.net.
And if you want a phone number, it's 253-8144.
8144.
I will be out of town.
You need to let them know because they,
Okay, I'll give her a call right now.
11 o'clock, they gonna have lunch for us?
yeah, he says yes.
Yeah.
We'll be there when we're done.
Well, they have a good lunch.
Yeah, all right, do I hear a motion to?
One quick question.
Motion's already made.
What?
Huh?
What do we pay safety director?
Hey, what?
Safety director,
$100
$100 a month.
$100 a month, I was thinking $250. So $100 a month, $1,200 a year.
That's still Jack, is it not?
Correct.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. Anything else? Good motion adjourned?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made, Brenda, second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Quick, fast, 23 minutes.